Welcome back, everyone. We are here for the LCS Academy Spring Split 2022. I'm Mazel, joined by Joshi and Rafa. It's been a long time, friend. I'm happy to have you on this stream. We're going to have some fun today. We're going to get straight into it here because we got some games to get to. All right, we got two best of two series to go through. And our first one is going to be fun. We've got Golden Guardians Academy taking on Team Liquid Academy. And first and foremost, this match, we've got some changing pieces, but it's a little bit of differing stories for both these squads in the way that they've kind of gotten to this point.
Yeah, we've definitely been seeing Golden Guardians have kind of the triple threat, right? Playing at amateur, academy, and LCS level with basically the same three rosters. And they've kind of been our measuring stick for how is everybody doing basically across all three leagues. Because it's the one time we've ever had like one team playing in every single role. And so it's really fascinating the fact that they are basically second in academy and also been second in amateur because 100 Thieves Next are pretty freaking good, you guys.
Yeah, it is a little terrifying. We'll leave that nightmare for another time. All right, we're going to talk about Golden Guardians Academy because this roster, as you were kind of mentioning, playing so many games, still having Stick say in the ADC position, a coach being in that role helps a little bit and commanding the troops. But the entire team itself has been performing in each one of their roles.
Definitely one of the biggest improvements overall has been Tony Top. During his time on Evil Genius's Academy last year, Tony Top didn't necessarily get that much standout performances. There's even a couple of fewer games that we saw during the Proving Grounds the Academy Summer Playoffs that we were really looking to help EG close out the game. And even though fantastic performance, it wasn't enough to be a game changer. And then ultimately Cloud9 ended up winning that series overall. But now Tony Top not only obviously still stepping up his overall split pushing play, finding solo kills, his Gwen being probably his best champion, but he's also developing and being more well-rounded, right? Being able to play something like the Ornn, coming from a pure split push solo carry playstyle, is not the easiest thing to pick up. You have to understand when to find engage windows, and his Ornn has been really solid in the last couple of weeks.
I like the little Ornn throw. We actually have some clips we're going to play of some Golden Guardians moments, specifically of Tony and Chime. And I want to go ahead and roll those up and still talk about Tony's development, but as well as, the whole team and Chime himself showing up this year, too. It's been so nice to talk to this guy. Chime. We got to do a little bit of content with him this week, foreshadowing, but it was really nice to get a little bit of the inside mindset.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with the way that Chime goes. There's a lot of talk about jungle mid duo, but something that is underappreciated is the support jungle duo, where even this that we just saw, he was able to save out the jungler, making sure that Iconic was able to find the resets, and his ability to roam around the map and make Iconic look really, really good is a testament to how effectively Chime has been playing so far.
I love the Tom Kench pull out too. It's always fun when you can see the Tom Kenches. I love your sound effects today. It's working so well. We need to get like a soundboard of all the Joshi sound effects.
True. We can
next up, we do have some groundbreakingness happening on the other side in Team Liquid Academy as Ayla is going to be coming in for the first time of the Academy season.
It's a return to normalcy, right? We have 4 players now returning from the Team Liquid squad that was able to make 3 separate finals in summer of Academy and Proving Grounds.
It's supposed to be Ayla down there.
No more Rhino, but we do have Ayla coming through.
The change was so
fast.
Last minute that we didn't get a chance to finalize everything on the production end, but it's okay. The point is, Ayla is back. Now,
he's back. Hey, he's back. Back again. Guess who's back? No.
He was back.
But memes aside, with Ayla back, we shouldn't be expecting an instant patch up, right? I mean, having Ayla back, having a strong dominant voice is what made Team Liquid so damn good towards the end of Academy Summer, and what transitioned kind of their amazing turnaround from the Proving Ground spring finish towards a fantastic summer win. The first time Team Liquid had ever gotten an Academy split win in the organization history. And even though Ayla has been splitting scrim time mainly with the LCS team, coming back to Academy, he is returning to, as he affectionately calls them, the boys. But it's still going to take a little bit of time just to get back up to speed, because if you've been playing with the LCS team for so long, Josh, I mean, then you obviously got to know it's different. Then you have to readjust to an old team, even if it is a team that you've played with in the past.
Absolutely. We do have some clips of Ayla as we get them on screen. Perfect timing. Already being able to see some of that Thresh play coming out. You know, that's tried and true here for NA,
Yeah.
I feel like.
I feel like one of the things that we have to know about Ayla, and I want to give a quick shout out to Sam Smacked Hyde, one of the casters who has been doing a lot of academy and amateur work as well.
Big fan.
Yeah, he's a big fan of Smacks. He made the claim last year that the only reason that Ayla was not playing in the LCS was because he was on Team Liquid Academy, where he had to deal with going up against Core JJ, right? Like, it is that's a very hard measuring stick. Team Liquid never going to replace him, but, you know, if there's some political issues, he's going to be able to have a chance, and this guy has looked good, right? Ayla has been a huge part of all the success that Team Liquid has had thus far, and it's definitely a player who can already move up to the LCS and look fantastic, right? He plays the Thresh so incredibly well, and he makes every AD carry he plays with just elevate to another level.
Well, guys, it is exciting to get this first appearance of Ayla in the 2022 split, but I hear we are ready for Champ Select, so go ahead and take it away.
Return of the support in Ayla. It helps to bring back finally for Team Liquid the original starting roster or the intended starting roster for this squad. And Rhino has done a serviceable job. And, you know, there were some struggle moments for Team Liquid Academy in the beginning, getting Rhino acclimated and adjusted and trying to fill in for a longer period than obviously Team Liquid Academy anticipated, but they made do with what they had. And they're not at the bottom half of the standings, but they're not where they want to be, and we know we have high expectations for this team by the end of the split.
Yeah, but the question is, how quickly are we going to get there? I still want to harken back to when Cloud9 first got their intended roster. They got smashed, right? It was not close. And this is actually, I believe it's the same team again, actually, right? Didn't Cloud9 play up against Golden Guardians?
Yeah.
Where they just got annihilated. So Golden Guardians coming through. They have another roster just finally coming together at this point where Team Liquid, again, 4 members who made it last time, plus Bradley, who is one of the strong members of Summer Proving Grounds, now coming together as a full roster. But again, I'm not sure that instantly bringing in a player is going to give them all the tools that they really need in order to get to that next level right away. As we touched on, you need to rebuild some synergy, but the things that I am expecting to see come through this time is the fact that Ayla has a very large champion pool. Yes, he's well known for the Thresh, but we were seeing that Rhino was mostly having his success on set, whereas Ayla, we know he can play a lot more champions in order to enable the rest of his bottom lane to be more flexible.
And something you noted about Golden Guardians working so well was that jungle support synergy between Iconic and Chime. We saw and witnessed firsthand of that synergy in action against Cloud9 Academy when they got their full roster, because they had a very cheeky level 3 gang setup, Thresh lancerning Xin Zhao from over the wall, bringing him on over. And then from there, Cloud9's bot lane was pretty much out of the game because they repeated that twice. And now Malice couldn't get his kind of vision of what the game plan should have been because the whole bot lane and the bot side of the map just collapsed. But on the flip side, at least for them, they were able to turn it around less than 24 hours. Team Liquid, we're not necessarily expecting a huge collapse of like that to be blown open, but you know, like you said, Josh, it takes time for Ayla to readjust to the team, even if it's a team that he's played with in the past.
Takes a village, right? We'll see what the rest of Team Liquid have put together for us today. And I kind of want to go back to one of the things we were talking about originally, right? We're having some time to praise Tony Top for his ability to play much more effectively this time around. Oh, I didn't even notice. Do I need to unbutton a little bit, Mark? I feel like I'm getting shown up here.
For me, this is just comfortable. It's also really warm in my room. We're finally out of the winter season, or for the most part. You get to breathe a little bit.
There we go.
And I also just have the air, not the air conditioning, the heater turned on.
Okay.
So.
Well, I just want to make sure we're matching, because that's the whole point. You asked me what color we were wearing today. So now we got the same outfits going through.
When I tried to get Cubby on board for this, he's like he had it all the way buttoned up, and then he just did the top. And that was it. Like, Cubby, come on, man. and nothing's gonna happen. He's like, nope, that's out of my comfort zone. But I'm glad you're on board with me. Yeah, we're vibing.
Just saying, there's certain Twitter users that would enjoy another button there, Cubby. But we'll look at the rest of the draft going through. Nothing particularly surprising coming out from the bench. We are on still 12-3, so Zeri is still potentially the best champion in the world, basically ever, that has ever come out. And instead, we're going to be going back to the second best character that has ever been developed. Jinx coming through, very standard stuff on both sides.
I mean, Powder from Arcane?
Powder from Arcane? I can't believe they made so many characters in League of Legends.
Now, normally the trade has been something like an Aphelios for the way of other teams whenever Jinx has been locked in on the opposite side, but we've seen some teams, notably CLG Academy, especially for Prismal, take the trade of something like a Varus because not only the flexibility of his build path, but also, more than likely, a lot of teams like CLG, if they're playing for the early game and they're playing to snowball, Varus gives you a lot of tools to be able to push the tempo in the early lead thanks to likes of a poke build, combined with a lot of lethality items, and of course the stacking more mana.
Yeah. Again, when you pick Varus, you're actually picking like one of three champions, right? There's the normal AD crit that you can go, there's lethality styles, there's on hit with like shield bow plus wits end, and honestly, people are gonna say this is troll, but the AP build with like Nashor's Tooth on Varus is a very real build because of how incredibly well your blight stacks scale up with AP. Don't expect to see it this game. Like, when I watch it one-shot a Mundo Mark, you know there's a little bit of a something that might need to get changed at some point. But, okay, the first surprising pick coming out from either team is Armeo going with the Udyr. This has been a bit of a Malice special.
Actually, just an overall Cloud9 special because Frost Force is also locked in the Udyr when he was subbing in for the squad.
True.
But yeah, really, only Cloud9 has been the one that has strayed outside of the normal Xin Zhao, Lee Sin, Jarvan, maybe Volibear, trifecta, quadfecta, right? Everyone has been going for early smash junglers. Yeah. But now Team Liquid playing a little bit more controlled. Udyr can offer still some early skirmishing potential, but his clear speed definitely faster than Xin Zhao.
Yeah. Also very versatile, right? We've typically been seeing very similar builds to Hecarim. You go for the Turbo Chem tank, but there's a lot of different ways to play Udyr that are viable as well. And now as we move to the second half of the draft, we have to note that Ryoma banning away the Cassiopeia because it is specifically considered a counterpick to Ryze, just because of how much DPS. Whenever Ryze goes in, Cassiopeia just turns around and stands and delivers. It's not going to be giving any ground on that front. So Team Liquid instead going to be trying to shut things down a little bit on the bottom side and denying a lot of the disengage tools that were potentially coming through for Golden Guardians, instead pushing Chime to play some of the either enchanters or an engage tool, which Thresh is typically very good against.
Yeah, not only Ayla is fantastic at the Thresh, and it has been helping net Team Liquid LCS's squad's many wins during the first couple of weeks, but also it's a huge takeaway from Chime, right? I mean, Chime has had to tell multiple people, just because my name is Chime doesn't mean I'm a Bard one-trick. I've actually was a Thresh one-trick before I developed my champion pool even further. Stop with the debate, Jan. You already locked in Varus. We're not...
Yeah, but what if it was not for Jan?
You know, that would have been... I would have been spicy.
Yeah.
I would have been ready for the spice, but Azir, a little bit of comfort, a little bit of a little summer flavor for Harry here.
True. Yeah, this is one of those picks that has not been particularly exciting for most teams this year, but Azir, something that is perennially okay, right? It's just like Orianna, you have such an impactful ultimate and long range that it's very rare that your champion is just not good. And so this is something, another special pick coming through. So I like the Azir and the Udyr that Team Liquid drafted, but I also love this Blitzcrank because the way that a lot of these, I kind of want to call them Cloud9 compositions, operate is their whole idea is they're going to death ball you later on. They are going to out-farm you, and then it's going to be very hard to fight them because they just group up. And Blitzcrank is a master at breaking up that death ball. You pick one person off from the side, and suddenly you're fighting a 5v4, and your death ball is just 20% smaller.
Yeah, because in Death Balls, all 5 elements of that composition are integral to supporting each other. No element is more important than the other. If you take one out, then the composition can fall apart. And Blitzcrank, you already noted, one way to break it up. Another way to break it up is by throwing a giant ram at it. Woo! You knock them all up, and then it allows for...
Am I Choco or Ornn?
you know, they both sound the same. Multiple AoE knockups, the Braum already being banned away, and there's no way to lock in a Yasuo, so no way to really stop it from happening. However, if Bradley on set can walk up and get a showstopper on the Ornn before he casts the second part of the ulti, that's one way to stop the AoE knockup from coming through.
True, and it's one of the things where if you are going to be yeeting an Ornn into the other team, you're going to be doing quite a bit of damage with that. But this isn't something I believe we've seen Bradley play so far. We've seen it a lot from Rhino. Team Liquid have definitely played with it quite a bit. But the thing that I'm looking at from Team Liquid is their primary engage tools are on different characters or different players than we're used to seeing them on. Usually, it's been coming up from Rhino, sometimes from Armeo, but now it's on Harry and Jan, who are going to be the ones who control the go buttons for Team Liquid. Now, Jan, I really always love Varus and Ashe on a team because you just throw out your ultimate and it's non-committal engage. You just like, well, if this hits, then we're going to go in, and if it hits a good target, great. If it's not on the target we want it to be, then we're going to back up and just say, you know, we'll be back in 60 seconds when my ultimate is back up. But Azir, on the other hand, Harry needs to be very careful with his ultimates because when he goes in, his team cannot dive after him. It is absolutely a thing where he is trying to sacrifice himself and have a big enough ultimate to justify giving up an Azir for it. Counterplay, baby.
We've seen that be a huge conundrum in the past for many Azir players during 2021. Sometimes we see great Shurima shuffle engages, and the Azir still is able to position themselves safely in the fight after throwing themselves and scooping up 4 or 5 people. And then we've seen some other Azir players who get one shot as soon as they go in. And it's like, well, you know, that engage was cool, but you're also a majority of our damage, so please don't yeet yourself into the fight like that if that is going to be the cost, because especially with the later the game goes on, and if Jan does dip into the lethality build, he's not going to be as consistent of a damage dealer the later the game goes.
Yeah, there's definitely a big meme that I have in solo queue and having played fives a lot with Mark over the years is I get most of my solo kills when my opponents get bored, and that's a thing that Harry needs to not do. He needs to not get bored. So, Ayla, I really actually like this from Ioma by pushing forward. Look at the corridor, the vision corridor. They have no idea that there are 4 people in this bush. This is so smart.
Oh, and Chime looks for the hook, but Ayla's dodging on out. Just because he's not been present in Academy playing with the big boys in LCS doesn't mean he still will not fall to any tricks of a Blitzcrank level 1 invade. Golden Guardians will not find any cheese kills in the first minute.
You know, I have to say I'm a Team Liquid fan, but I am so sad that Golden Guardians, they execute on everything perfectly except the hook, right? Every single part of that was calculated. I just made a video on the adaptability and cool things that Rosethorn does for CLG. Golden Guardians, now that they've shown this once on broadcast, I don't know if they're going to be able to effectively do that again. So kind of showing their cards in this spot, a bit of opening prep that Team Liquid has currently responded to. But it is one of those things where everybody will know if there's a Blitzcrank, it's going to be a lot harder to have the same kind of trick. So just a very standard start. Neither bottom lane is going to be leashing this game, Mark. Instead, they're just going to be having some fun, and it does... I'm sorry. I kind of forget that Udyr's animation sometimes, he kind of goes like...
He's also wearing the chocolates, bro. He's living in comfort style right now. He's switching between multiple animal hoodies or onesies, and then just kind of vibing throughout the jungle.
Yeah.
And as we said before, this Udyr flavor has really been a Cloud9 special between both Frost Force and Malice. No other jungler in Academy. We'll have to verify this after this game, but I'm very damn sure that it's only been Cloud9 junglers that have played Udyr. So Armeo going back to a little bit more of a controlled and more of a farming playstyle. And a Bradley pushing in this top wave. To be able to get an early crash against someone like Ornn, I wonder if he can look for any potential vision, but because Iconic already started on the top side of the map, he's full clearing. He knows that Udyr will be doing the same thing, and they will be matching each other on the bottom side around 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Are we going to see any skirmishing between these two teams?
I would be surprised to see a whole lot of early game stuff going on. Ryoma using up all his mana. No, he does have the Corrupting Potion, but I want to talk a bit about the theory on why Udyr is suddenly seeing play and why Malice thinks this champion is one of the best in the game. The core idea is that you are going to be out-clearing everybody else. You are just faster than them, right? You do everything. You don't even need to contest any of these early crabs that Iconic and Armeo are both fighting each other because you are just going to be stronger than them. And look at this. He's already level 4.
Yeah, because Iconic skipped both the Raptors and the Krugs. Armeo's able to clear through everything else, just naturally 2 camps up. That forces Iconic to flash over the wall.
Yeah, and so we're already seeing, like, this is the pressure that Udyr puts on the game because he's going to be out farming you. It is now on the other team in order to prove their advantage actually exists by playing this early game champion. It's a very similar thing that happens in chess. White is supposed to have an advantage. In theory, Xin Zhao should be stronger early on in the game, but because Armeo is constantly pushing back and just saying, no, I'm just going to be stronger than you in about 5 minutes, you actually have to prove that this champion is better.
Looking for potentially a gank onto Ryoma, but he burned Ghost in the exchange with Iconic in the river, so he would have no real way of being able to close the distance onto Ryoma without Harry having to flash something. And he's also low on mana, but he's just there to make sure that Harry doesn't get weirdly dove by Ryoma. I wouldn't imagine that would happen from Ryze, but, you know, just to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, Ryoma's pretty good, but that would be a whole new level. The hook lands!
Oh, huge hook from Chime. That has to be a flash from Yon. Flashing away, last auto attack. Oh, but it's still not enough to get out alive. First blood from Chime and Golden Guardians.
Great play coming through, and it might not be done. Ryoma is here on the backside.
Can he lock him up? Ayla flashing away. Sees Ryoma. He flashed it on the tower. It's not the mid lane dive. He's looking for the bot lane dive instead.
Oh, man. Ayla clearly had no idea that Ryoma was coming. I have to imagine he was putting flash timers in chat. That's why he didn't move at first when Ryoma came around. And then suddenly realizing that there's a Ryze. Ends up being a bad spot. But Armeo coming top. It's not done.
Armeo has to be able to equalize something, knowing that he has jungle advantage on the top side of the map. Bradley tanking up as much as he can, thanks to the Haymaker and the shield. Armeo, they make it out, not even having to burn any summoner spells under the tower.
Great stuff coming through from Armeo and Bradley to equalize some of the early pressure that is happening to the other side of the map. Notice once again that Armeo not only got that gank off, he also took the Gromp, and that's the core argument that we're seeing come through right now. But more than that, they have put Tony Top in a pretty desperate position. Already down about 2 waves, going up against Bradley, being forced to use his teleport. As a top laner, I'm sitting here crying because there's not a lot that Tony Top can really do to equalize on his own.
I'm looking for an advantage here. It just forces the quick little shifting sands from Harry. No flash necessary, but the pressure is felt. And now allowing Ryoma to push in that wave. But they go for an early dragon.
They could. I think this is, again, going back, we're going to talk about this core theory a lot. Team Liquid don't care, right? Team Liquid are happy to give over this dragon because they know they're not strong enough to contest right now anyway. They want to start contesting dragons at about Dragon 3 or Dragon 4 when they are suddenly at a spot where their items have really come together. Udyr is massively ahead of Xin Zhao. And notably, Golden Guardians, by opting to just go back into their jungle, Iconic is choosing not to pick up this dragon because they know where Armeo is. They don't want to take a fight right now just because there's already a big farm difference and a lot of gold between these two players.
Iconic spending time onto the bottom side, ensuring the first blood against Yon, and then another kill into Ayla. Uh-oh. Oh, the hook lands, and Yon doesn't have summoner spells, but because Armeo is here to turn things around, Golden Guardians can't get in range to follow up on the hook at all. Chime has to flash away because of the burn damage from Armeo.
Yeah. See? Like, Udyr really strong. He's already so far ahead of Iconic, and the fact that Iconic coming through, not getting this first gank, is going to be putting Golden Guardians in a really rough spot where they're not even going to be putting a clock on on Team Liquid at all. The first dragon going over to Team Liquid is a huge win for the red side of the map. And Team Liquid, it hasn't necessarily been Ayla who's necessarily been having a huge advantage just quite yet, but the fact that they are already ahead from Armeo, going back to the I'm going to be better than you at 20 minutes kind of style that he played to great success in summer, is giving them a small advantage over a team that we weren't expecting them to have one.
Yeah, he already has a 4-5 camp lead on top of Iconic and has pretty comparably made an equal impact on the map as well versus Iconic Xin Zhao. Yep. So there hasn't been such a huge advantage gained from the lack of camps, and because of this level experience as well, we're already seeing a slight gold advantage at 7 minutes.
Yeah, good dodge from Yon. The other thing I want to check in on is the fact that the top lane, Bradley has not only gotten that first assist where they denied a lot from Tony Top, he has extended it quite a bit. There's not enough minions here to make up for the difference that we were seeing originally, and Bradley still has his teleport available, right? Tony Top had to use it, so Bradley can come in, he can get a cheater recall off, he can have a lot of pressure, and set this far accelerated is so difficult. Look at
Oh, that That was slick from Bradley. It's not going to net a solo kill anytime soon, but just being able to interrupt the searing charge from Tony Top.
Tony has to leave.
Yeah. He's in danger because Armeo is on the top side of the map. Bradley is not going to use that advantage to go look for a tower dive, but they will gain the Rift Herald off of it.
Yeah, Armeo was going for a bit of a bluff there by using the vision cone in order to show if there was any vision there or not. And instead, they're going to be pulling back from it. They're not going to be committing to the play and going for the Rift Herald as an alternative win here. Still 20 CS up for Bradley, but no kill there. It just means that they are trading the potential plate now for a plate later.
Oh, Shurima shuffle right onto Ryoma, but Halo was not quite in position to follow up, was channeling the Hex Flash, but finds a death sentence on the Iconic. He has Flash. Can he get out in time? Crescent Guard over the wall, but it's a Flash follow from Harry that seals the deal. Team Liquid are off to the races.
Okay, it was not the cleanest thing in the world, but the end result is still the same. They end up finding a kill because both Harry and Ayla find independent plays of each other in order to get that kill. And now, with 1,000 gold lead, notice the fact that Iconic continuing to fall behind. There's not a lot for Iconic to go back and farm, where there are 5 camps still available for Armeo, and this is going to be the core story of this game, is how far ahead is Udyr, and can Stixxay and Ryoma actually kite it, because the game isn't over.
Okay, well, Ayla with the sweeper is going to find a death sentence, but can they outburst both Chime and Stixxay? The question is that Ayla does go down, but Chime eventually falls as well. Stixxay has to flash away because there is a giant man-bear-pig running at them very dangerously and has to back off.
Crazy stuff coming through. And we get to see a little bit of both sides of that fight, right? The fact that Golden Guardians were able to turn it around, and that's the important thing that we're going to have to track. We've been talking about Udyr quite a bit, and we'll talk about Ryoma in a sec. Or maybe now.
A lot of damage from Rami. Right?
Rami?
I was thinking of Tommy! Tommy Lay almost taking out Harry, forcing him under tower. Chime is going to walk up slowly.
And down smash.
Not quite the down smash. It's just a flat Hex Flash over the wall. Oh, he might down smash these chickens. Get him. Oh, dude, Harry knows. He sees Chime just outskirt of the Fog of War. Is like, I'm not even safe in between these 2 towers. I got to go all the way to the base.
Yeah. So that's what we got to look at, Mark. The next phase of the game, we were talking about how Armeo is going to be out farming Iconic, and he has so far done that quite well. Up 5 camps and is going to be up a little bit more after clearing here. But there are ways to deal with Udyr, and the thing about Udyr is that you are... Oh.
No.
Come on.
Yawn. Oh, no.
Okay. He's fine. Just has a flash. It's okay. But the thing about Udyr is he's very kiteable, right? You have Jinx and Ryze who both do a crazy amount of DPS later on in the game, and they're going to be trying to keep both Bradley and Armeo at arm's length. And if they can do that, and they can get that first reset, they're going to have a lot of freedom to just hit everybody else after that. But this is the reverse side of it. Bradley rushing the Hole Breaker says that he's not particularly interested in grouping up with the team. This is not Team Liquid saying we want to out-team fight you. We have a strong frontline in the Udyr who will allow Jan and Harry to kite themselves, while Bradley just slowly beats Tony Top on the other side. Oops.
The second Shurima shuffle of the game doesn't quite land. Ryoma's a little too fast. Didn't even have to proc the phase rush. He just sidesteps the damn thing.
Yep.
Rest of Golden Guardian's able to position towards the bottom side of the map.
Yeah. Okay, well, we are still basically holding even at this point. Golden Guardians will be able to pick this up. And so, something that we haven't necessarily seen as much of, as Bradley just ignores Tony Top entirely. Remember, he's got extra regen the lower he gets. Is the fact that Iconic and Chime weren't moving together previously, but now they are. But they get spotted out.
Now, normally, if you catch out one person with this hook, it's great. But you don't want to hook the Udyr. He's a little too big. Chime looking for the flash, capitalizes on top of the fact that Jan did not have flash from the prior hook before. It's a 2 versus 4, and Ayla, unfortunately, Ayla does flash out of that situation. How the hell did he make that happen?
That's crazy. I mean, poor Jan, right? Unfortunately, Vars only has 1 flash, doesn't have any other dashes to try and deal with the Blitzcrank hook. And to their credit, Chime, we were already hyping him up at the beginning of the game, lands another one of these hooks in order to punish Jan. And because Armeo and Ayla are too far away, it's just a super easy kill for them to pick up. Now, unfortunately, they botched this a little bit. They miscalculate their damage, and you can tell they're trying to give this one over to either Rise or the Jinx, but because neither Iconic nor Chime are willing to go for the last hit, it ends up being a kill that gets away. And, you know, in 20 years, you're going to be remembering that one as the fish that got away.
Damn, we got philosophical with that one.
You can't,
20 years.
you know, 20 years, you're going to be looking back. It's like, what if I had killed Ayla in week 5 of Academy? Would my life have been different? Probably not, but...
I mean, if it changed the standings of Academy Spring and then, you know, led to a better seeding and proving grounds, I mean, we could spin a whole other alternate reality with that. But
True.
The current reality is that Team Liquid are still able to be up on Dragons, despite kind of highlighting at the beginning of the draft or the beginning of the game that they were going to be content giving those away, but they haven't needed to make that sacrifice at all.
Yeah. Oh, Chime. Running the map.
Harry has flash. Oh, no.
Has no HP. Okay, you guys, that's like the 4th hook in a row that Chime has landed. You got to give him a little bit more respect than that. This man is on fire, looking like Diamond from what we were talking about previously. Another player has been playing quite a bit of Blitzcrank for FlyQuest, and the fact that he is constantly picking apart these individual members, roaming to where there's not a whole lot of Team Liquid available, and just finding these kills for the rest of his team is putting Golden Guardians in a really strong position because he's having a great game. And if they can continue creating a lot of pressure with the long range of Rise and Jinx later on, and Chime can slowly pick apart the members of Team Liquid, I don't know if Bradley's current advantage that he has over Tony is going to be enough, because just as we were praising him for building up a large lead earlier, most of that lead has evaporated at this point because they're not finding more CS. They're not going for redives on the top lane, and Tony is stabilized.
But what if Bradley builds a hole breaker?
Well, he already has one. He's had this for like 10 minutes, Mark. Keep up.
Oh yeah, not for 10 minutes. He did not have it.
It was like
5.
It was like 5 minutes.
Okay,
Keep
but
up.
Now that he has a hole
Turtle.
breaker, he can inflict split push pressure, man.
And mental damage. Yeah. So,
What would you say? Emotional damage?
yes. Emotional damage. Maximum emotional damage. But we'll see how effective they can actually be with it, because with this lead, right, notice that the turret is still up. There hasn't been a whole lot of pressure that they put on Tony Top at the same time. So yes, Bradley will basically forever win this split push now, but it's not something where the rest of his team is strong enough to necessarily be a winning 4. Typically, what the idea of having the split pusher is you want to drag people around, and because your 4 is stronger, but the fact is their 4 is not stronger.
Oh, does he look for it? No! Chime, beautiful patience, waiting on the dark passage before throwing out the rocket grab. Ayla's gonna go down as well. Stixxay is so big on the Jinx, 4-0 and 2. They're gonna take the tier 1 turret as well.
This is absolutely fantastic coming out from Golden Guardians, right? This is how you attack this kind of composition, and Chime stepping up. I'm so glad we talked about him at the beginning of the day, because he is landing so many hooks. Yan flashes too late, and it ends up just being another double kill going over Stixxay, Coach of the Year, absolutely tearing apart. I mean, remember up against Cloud9, I think it was, where Stixxay just had like 8 kills by like 10 minutes? It's not quite that level, but he's doing his best to recreate that, and I just feel like we're watching the same movie of Golden Guardians beating up on a team that finally has their roster together again.
It's netted them almost 3,000 gold in the lead. Bradley, thanks to the hole breaker, takes out this turret. However, can he escape from both Tony Top and Chime? And the answer to that one is nope.
Nope.
He's dead.
Goodbye. Okay, but what happens on the other side of the map, right? This is counterplay. Whenever somebody goes for play on one side of the board, you just go for it on the other. Harry now going to be picking up a turret of their own. So even though they give up Bradley in that play, picking up 2 turrets is absolutely a gold positive trade for the side of Team Liquid. And giving all this money over to them will allow them to equalize a little bit of the gold. And we are now at the part of the game where we were previously saying Golden Guardians were going to put Team Liquid on a dragon clock, but it's actually Team Liquid who are now having 2 dragons of their own, and Golden Guardians are going to be the one who has to be really careful about this upcoming Drake.
The other thing, too, is Team Liquid, their composition and the way that I would have imagined fights to be playing out in the 5v5 situation.
Oh, no.
No, Harry, and He still has flash, but it's going to be too late. Iconic is here. One more damage, one more Q from Ryoma seals the trick. Armail cannot save him, cannot equalize them out. Looks for the bear stun, but it's already too late. It already timed out. Ryoma gets out thanks to the Realm Warp. Golden Guardians still having so much pressure on the cross side.
Ryoma playing so smart, right? Just knowing that there might still be a Harry in the bush, goes for the Q and just locks him down, prevents him from getting the back off. And because Chime is already there, because he's everywhere on the map, it is so difficult for Team Liquid to even prepare. And because Harry, with the teleport, is going to be coming up seconds before the dragon spawns, there's no way for the rest of his team to walk in and take control of the area. And Mark, you cannot walk into a Blitzcrank. Well, you can, but you shouldn't.
That's always one of those things. It's like, yeah, I mean, you can, but
do you want to?
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, if you really want to. However, Chime really wants to hook Yon once again, knowing that he doesn't have flash, but the Dark Passage, a little too quick from Ayla, keeps his AD carry alive.
Dude, Chime just, like, doesn't blink, right? You ever play a poker with somebody and you have no idea if you can read them? Like, Chime continues walking forward after the lantern, and I don't know about you, but if I was Yon, I'd be thinking, is there someone around the corner here? Am I in trouble? The answer was no, but, like, Team Liquid didn't know that.
Yeah, because you normally think that I got the Dark Passage, I should be safe. However, they can rectify the odds here. Ryoma still has flash available. Can he get out of this situation? Dark Passage into everything else from Team Liquid. A good old Shurima shuffle locks down Ryoma. Doesn't even bother burning the flash because he knows he's still dead. But Golden Guardians trying to answer back through the mid lane. This charge will net them the second tier turret.
Yeah, take that, Rami. Bit of a tough spot, but it is okay for the rest of Golden Guardians. And oh, Bradley coming around from an interesting flank angle, but the rest of Team Liquid are not in a position to do anything with it. Instead, just going to be trading across the map. Look at the fact that this turret goes down, but Team Liquid already in position in the bot lane and in the mid lane. So lots of gold being traded, and this teleport, it will be in time, but I don't know if he can actually hold it by himself.
Yeah, Harry still has a lot of ways to be able to move out of this one. Ryoma pops the phase rush, but can't lock down Harry long enough to actually threaten lethal. The rest of Team Liquid, as we were trying to get back to earlier before a lot of just shenanigans happen for the next couple of minutes, Team Liquid, I thought they were trying to match the 5-on-5 against Golden Guardians because they have really powerful engage tools, right? And they have team fighting tools. But now I understand that things like the Shurima Shuffle in the Emperor's Divide, really, and the Chain of Corruptions, they're not engage tools. They're disengage tools because Bradley is opting fully for the split push. Blade of the Rune King and Hullbreaker. But now, Team Liquid, they have to stay alive to make sure that they don't get picked off by these Golden Guardians here. Yon and Ayla have already been taken down. Team Liquid now on the run. They have all their members here,
Chime,
but they have to use their disengage tools. But Chime still able to find the hook on the Harry despite the Emperor's Divide coming out. And now all 5 members versus only 1. It's Baron time.
Golden Guardians are doing so well at preventing the death ball from assembling on the side of Team Liquid. 13-5, 5-0-4 on 6-8. 11 kill participation coming out from Chime, constantly finding all of these plays. And Golden Guardians are now in a dominating position. But I want to watch Yon because this isn't really like his fault, right? But notice him just like walking back and forth, trying to find the lantern because he is left with 0 options. He can't do anything. He doesn't have a front line that can be in a position to keep him alive. He has to just find any way to keep himself out. And unfortunately, not able to find it when Golden Guardians is swarming you that hard. And Team Liquid, they only have 2 dragons. If they had been able to pick up that Ocean Dragon, they would have been in a better spot. But Ryoma, again, preventing Harry's back earlier, now continuing to pay dividends.
It's something we have to praise Golden Guardians for in this match and just the overall split. Yes, they was off to a slow start despite having so many reps between both Amateur and Lock-In, but it's paid off as the weeks have come towards the middle of the season because you see how decisive they are. They can walk anywhere with so much confidence and so much control that as soon as they see these moments, they don't hesitate. They instantly act.
Yeah, and one of the important things that we haven't even touched on, Mark, is if you're on Golden Guardians, you are having so much fun right now in this kind of game because there's not a lot of things that you can do wrong. As long as you're playing reasonable League of Legends, you're feeling great. And I guarantee Chime, just kind of laughing after he gets that last pull. And that is so important when you're playing these games, man. When you are having a good time, when you are playing with your buds who you've been playing with day in, day out for the past couple of months, Golden Guardians are going to play even better than they were before. And so it's on players like Stixxay and Ryoma, the more experienced people, just say, you know, calm down, you know, we're having a good time, but we just can't get sloppy. And that's why as soon as we see them go for that blitzcrank play earlier, now they're just playing slow.
Oh, goodness. You know, Bradley, with the split push build, not the best when he has to be a frontline member against the rest of Golden Guardians, especially when there is a 3-item Jinx. Lord Doms, Kraken Slayer, Rapid Fire Cannon, safety range, and tons of damage.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Golden Guardians coming at this from a bit of an odd angle, but they're just waiting for the wave to actually come in, and they're just going to go.
Oh,
yeah.
Beautiful. Ryoma flashing forward, locking down Yon into the Call of the Forge God. The resets are coming through for Stixxay, and he gets to just run through them with impunity. Armeo has been deathless for so long, but one more auto attack should do him in. He's going to get out. Can't say the same about Bradley. The Realm Warp, they are really diving past. Stixxay wants to flash forward. Armeo's still a little too tanky. Does not go down, but this base is in ruins.
Complete shambles. Tony Top coming in. We were talking about his ability to actually have that trigger pull. Now he has it, and the rest of the team, look at this. It was never a problem with in-fight healing, guys. It's out-of-fight healing. Stixxay back at full HP, but they find Ryoma. There's no damage.
Hook and Flay on a Ryoma, but as you said before, not enough damage from Team Liquid. Yon does find the piercing arrow, and the execute takes out Ryoma. Tony Top falls as well. Armeo trying to stall Stixxay right now, but Stixxay just picks up a reset, and he's just going to be able to out-damage both Ayla and Yon. Another hook just for good measure. Locks down Yon, prevents any comeback potential from Team Liquid, and Golden Guardians, under 25 minutes, pick up a quadra kill for Stixxay and take them down in Game 1.
My favorite part of that whole thing was the fact that Stixxay at the end, chasing Armeo, gets the excitement from a super minion killing the Nexus turret in order to find the last bit of movement speed to run down Armeo.
I didn't even notice that.
I was like, why did he get that? Oh, the turret dies. He got an assist. But absolutely devastation coming in from Golden Guardians. And to be honest, it's kind of what we were expecting. Maybe not in that way, but Golden Guardians were definitely favored going into this. And the fact that they were able to dismantle Team Liquid going for something a little bit different is a credit to Golden Guardians just having a lot of that trigger pull and that willingness to go for things. But I gotta say, Chime, I mean, he has a vendetta against Yon or something, man. Like, maybe Yon took the wrong person to Valentine's last week and Chime's like running after him, but
whoa!
Chime.
Maybe there's a Champions Queue match that didn't go too well. It's like, all right, you know what? This is for last night's Champions Queue games, baby.
Intless normally work, though. Normally it's on your team. This time he's like, look, I'm going to get you every single time. But great stuff from Golden Guardians.
Yeah, jokes aside, I do want to give credit to Golden Guardians because there was a moment where Team Liquid, thanks to the way that Armeo was able to play the jungle matchup and just playing the map overall, it's like, wow, Team Liquid are actually avoiding the early advantage that Golden Guardians should naturally have and be able to override a little bit of the bot lane dismantling that was happening. But Golden Guardians said, nope, we're still going to push through and we're still going to take the entire game away from you. And we'll have to see how Team Liquid are able to bounce back or if Golden Guardians can manage to completely sweep them in their opening series of Week 5 in our first round robin. When we come back from this break, we'll be joined by Mazel once again, as I believe we're going to have a wonderful halftime show as always with him. So make sure you stick around.
Bye-bye.
Oh, 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 mes amis! Ils m'ont pas dit que tu es là. Ah, bien, bien, bien. On est pour notre journée de le perspective académique. We are here, my friends, and we have some shoutcasters in Rafa et Jushi encore again. Welcome, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Mark, you feel like you're still in the LFL?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. It was just happening. We at the Louvre. I have some art for you. I'm going to have an artist come out and draw some art. As you see my mustache.
Okay.
He's having some problems. So, we're going to start as the artist is spared for time, so he's going to start now. And we're going to see... that starts. Okay. The artist will begin. You have to tell me what the art is, okay?
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay, we got this.
It's a...
I believe in you.
It is the sun.
Oh,
No.
it's the mustache that's falling off.
It is
Yes.
a can.
No, it's not that.
Oh, a can?
No.
Can.
Coca-Cola.
No.
It's
It's a dice bag.
No, no, no. No, no, no.
okay. Oh, there's color.
There's color.
Brown.
There is le couleur, le color.
Oh,
Looks like
and now it's blue. Blue on the
Yes.
top, brown on
Oui.
the bottom.
Looks like a cup. That's what it makes me think of.
Oh, wait a minute.
Is it a Brune prison?
Oh, no.
No.
Oh,
There's
it's a fish.
Oh,
It's a fish?
Oui. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Go fish.
No.
Is he-
Fish in a pool.
Is he
going
fish?
fishing?
Come
shooting
on.
fish in a barrel?
Come
Shooting fish
on,
in a
mes
barrel?
amis.
Oh.
Oui.
There you
Fish
go.
in a barrel.
Because
Le poisson
and
in
you know
this
why?
the barrel.
Because Chime was hitting hooks so easily on the yawn, it's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Maybe, my friend. Let the artist continue,
Slow down,
okay?
slow down.
Yeah. Are you in front? Are you the artist? Okay, okay.
okay.
We continue. Okay. So, we have the artist starting off again. Oh,
Okay.
no.
The letter A.
No.
Running Man.
No.
Oh, someone's definitely running. I think it's yawn.
Super.
No.
Okay,
Oh,
so
wait,
it's a superhero.
Oh, superhero.
It's a
cape.
hero.
Hero.
The hero. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna finish drawing his face because I wanted to. Okay. I mean, the artist wanted to. Yes.
He has
yes.
an elephant nose.
Yeah, no, that's a mouth. That's a mouth. Okay. The last one. This is the hard one. Okay.
The hard one. Okay.
The hard one. My mustache is having problems. All right. You cannot see. This one is the hard one. Okay. I believe in you guys, and we're going to start.
Okay. I'm here for it.
Pickle Rick.
Bush.
Okay, you got the first part. See, the artist is so good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
bush.
Yes.
They're in the jungle.
Yes. They're almost.
Almost.
A box in the grass.
No.
Snake.
Chomp.
No.
Oh. A
Is that a
trap?
chomper?
Is that a trap?
No.
Oh, is it a ward?
No. There's another one.
Another bush.
The quality is dropping because we have to make multiples. Okay.
Okay. So there's a lot of bush. Moses?
Yes. No.
They're not on fire, Mark.
Oh yeah. My bad.
What is that? I'm trying to think of what that could be in the brush, but it looks like a very
Blitzcrank.
angry.
No. It's not Blitzcrank.
Oh, that's
It's
Come on,
Zingel?
it's this.
It's this.
My
What is
friends, I
this?
believe in you.
Is this Twinmel's room? There is no.
No.
There's no Timon in the
This-
game.
The artist is getting tired. All right, so I'm going to give it to you. It is chimes, my friend, because Chime is the guy, okay? He is the hero. He is the man. He was hooking people like fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
And his name is Chime. And he's not a bot player, okay? Oui, artiste. L'artiste est fini, c'est bien. Thank you, my friends. Okay, now, that was Le Perspective Academique. It is lunchtime, so I'm going to have my baguette. Au revoir, mes amis.
No, before you go.
Oui.
You say it's lunchtime?
Oh, he's already gone.
Nope.
No. Oh.
Go eat. We will see you in a second. I gotta say, Mark, this is the thing about modern art. I don't always get it. I will admit there's a lot of impressionist stuff going on. I definitely thought that the bard was a Zinjao. Because he's got like the long ponytail.
Oh, yeah.
But
I was like, what is he doing? Is he like doing a dance motion here when he's going, yeah, like this, and then he had the spear thing.
He's just got a hungering for some chimes.
Well,
there's a rumbly in his tumblies.
I couldn't tell if it was a chime or not. I'm looking at it as like, I mean, is this a is this a snack?
Bard
is this a mousetrap?
Images. What do we see? Okay.
Are you looking it up?
I am looking it up. I can see it.
I guess,
it's got all the little
if it
sparklies on it. Boop, 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 boop,
if it was more round. Where did our actual host go? Where's Mazel?
Is he back? Is he here?
Mazel.
It's a I heard something about lunch, and I just really wanted to get some lunch. I tried to reach out to Rami, but he was busy, so I just wasn't able to. I don't know what you think about that, Robin.
Okay, I like that you're matching with us, or at least pretty close.
That's what I was thinking. As soon as I saw you guys, I was like, "Hey, we're all. I just need to go one more down to match Rafa. We all have to." We have to get the game going.
And imagine if we had 2 more people, we could have started a band or something. Maybe
write
some songs about Jane.
No way. I think that's too far off the deep end. Anyways, off the deep end, Golden Guardians giving a nice welcome back to Ayla. We gotta say.
Is that what we're calling it, a warm welcome? That didn't seem really warm to me. That seemed cold and brutal.
Well, it was blazing fast, so in that regard, it definitely was pretty warm. And man,
hot welcome.
I don't know. It really looked like Chime was kind of on another level. The number of hooks he missed, like, I made fun of him for missing the very first hook and messing up their level 1. But after that, I don't think I saw him miss another hook. Right, the entire rest of the game, constantly finding people out, creating so much pressure, and Jan in particular. Again, like, gotta be careful whose girl you take out to Valentine's, man. That is not okay.
We're gonna need to get some background research on that. Make sure the stories are accurate. Yeah, I just think, like, from the get-go, at first, right, the first little bit of the game, it was really contested. It was like, oh my god, this game is crazy. Like, it's all over the place. We were at like 3-3 kills all over the place. And then it just seems like the tides turned, and Chime was just hitting every hook. The engages from Iconic and being able to kind of utilize this Xin Zhao to the best of his ability against this Udyr was impressive in its own right.
Yeah.
At first, like, when he went for the kind of like invade against Armeo, and Armeo caught him, and that 1v1 almost went south, I was like, oh no, this is not looking great.
Yeah. I mean,
but he turned it around.
Iconic walked up to the crowd and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna see if Armeo's
he's
here.
He's gonna power farm,
pretty
right?
Strong. Armeo's like, bro, I'm level 4. You really want to fight this? You don't want the smoke, bro. And he started bringing hot fire in the Phoenix form, and Iconic's like, oh crap, I gotta dip. But it's okay. It didn't matter because while those 2 were playing League of Legends, Chime was forcing everyone else to play a different game. It's, can you flash this hook? And when am I going to throw it out? You have to guess. And a lot of the times, a lot of people either guessed incorrectly and determining whether they could flash or dodge the hook, or waiting out the hook for too long and then reacting by taking a dark passage. And then, about dark passage, you always know where they're going to go unless Ayla manages to reposition it by flashing himself.
Yeah.
It's there were a lot of angry buzzer noises to the wrong answers of the flashes. in its own right, Chime himself has been having a good performance on the team, but him and Stixay together, man, it is so ruthless.
Yeah.
Stixay, he was feeling the confidence juice this game, especially when they were rounding out the end of the game. But this guy's been on fire, and yes, he's a coach, but he brings out the best in Chime, I feel like.
It's definitely fascinating to watch because even though Stixay had a crazy scoreline this game, he didn't have to do a whole lot, right? He mostly just like walked around and auto-attacked the right targets and got a lot of last hits. And Chime, in particular, was just making Stixay's life so easy by landing all these hooks, right? Ryoma and Tony Top were always in the front, creating a lot of space. So Stixay just needed to do his job, and to his credit, he did it quite well. But it's kind of crazy to me, like how much pressure you can put onto people. And I'll have a conversation about like defensive versus passive as we start getting into the next game, but we got to see how much pressure and how much aggression Golden Guardians were able to put on, and Stixay, this version of Stixay is looking fantastic with that.
Yeah, I think I also was just contemplating the fact that we need a Butler skin or something for Blitzcrank.
Serve it up on a silver platter.
He can deliver the food to his ADCs. Anyways,
the bow tie ready.
Yeah, we're ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and send it off to the second game of the day. So have fun with it, fellas.
Bye, Mazel. Time to run it back between Golden Guardians and Team Liquid. Everyone taking to the same sides as last time. Team Liquid maintaining red side. Curious to see if the bans will change, if Team Liquid will say, you know what, we gotta get rid of that Blitzcrank. It might not happen within the first ban phase because the Blitzcrank didn't come through until the second round. And so maybe that will be a change, as the two of the support bans that did get knocked down were Rakan and Braum.
Yep. So now that we are into the second draft, and I'm dancing to the music a little bit, I want to talk a bit about the difference between defensive and passive, right? When you are playing this scaling composition, it doesn't mean that you are off the hook and you can just be like, yep, do whatever you want, I'm going to farm, right? You do need to actively try and defend everything that you're doing. You still need to be aggressively looking to get vision so that you can play with enough information. And that's something that felt really lacking coming into Team Liquid's gameplay at this time, and it was what allowed Golden Guardians to have so much effect, because Golden Guardians